What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes. And today, well, we got something really interesting for you guys. You might realize this is not our normal account because there's a Groo up here at level 123. Well, the person who shared this account with me, named Groo on Discord, very fitting, loves Groo to the point where we literally have a Groo account. Yes, but the sad thing is you can't really go past like your E3, you can't make them homeowner, you can't give them origin levels, but what you can do, you can build them up to E5 and give them some awakening copies. So we got some interesting setups here, and one thing we are going to get in here and do is something interesting that I'm gonna show you here. So yeah, we literally got a Groo account. We have some artifacts. We even have Rui Scepter. Wait, he doesn't have any CC, right? He just has debuffing, right? What does he naturally have? 44% HP, 20% or 26% damage reduction. He does his counterattack ability. He reduces the target's attack and crit chance, which is still pretty cool. And then when he does his active, damages frontline enemies and steals 35% armor for 2 rounds. Then restores self for 6 rounds. So let's see how this actually turns out. I'm kind of intrigued. We are purely in tank mode here. And there's something we're actually stuck on. And it is something that is probably doable with a single Groo in the back row. We do have even Nemean, so we're going super tanky. Little known fact, Groo can actually beat Mim Waves. He's actually beaten like the previous Mim Waves. I don't know if we've ever done 607, which is what we're on right here. But we're going to give it a shot and see what happens here. And we're super tanky. We're going to put him back row so that he can purify the attack steal. And we're going to see how strong this shield is as well. Because, let's be honest, that fan was kind of tanky right there. And as long as we can keep going, this is going to be a very, very long battle. And again, the fact that we're also stealing attack is really good because that means when they die, they're not going to do nearly as much damage, which again is pretty good. We should probably also be running like Balanced Strike on him. Granted, he probably has a very low crit chance. It would be more healing though in general. So yeah, purifying the attack debuff is kind of important here. This is gonna be really interesting. Oh man, it's the active round that really hurts, but it seems like we might be able to keep up with it. I mean, in reality, we could go for extreme late rounds and we could run resilience as our E3 enable instead of the attribute reduction purify, because it almost seems like even if we are like reduced with attack, honestly the counterattacks are doing most of our damage here. So we could try running that. Somehow we've been lucky enough and purified it every single time. This fan is a champion right here. I'll tell you that much. A splendid fan on a Groo is it's a really cool flex to have. And we get tons of shielding. Granted, honestly, the deer would be a better one here because it would give us block chance. It would give us actual healing on top of that. Whereas Nemean's shield happens before the fan shield happens. So you're rarely going to get any benefit from Nemean here. Now you can see here, we're in the later rounds, so we're starting to take more damage. The question is, do we have enough damage to beat the enemy? So far, our shield seems pretty solid. It's, again, just the active rounds that really start shredding through our shield here, because then once we lose the shield, we have no damage reduction, really. This is interesting. This is really, really interesting. Our active ability only hits the front row, which is why the front row is becoming, like, the weakest so far. I almost feel like resilience would be better than attribute reduction purify, because yeah, we're going to start really losing out here because I think they're going to start ramping up more damage faster than us. And as you guys can see, next rounds of actives are probably going to be pretty brutal overall. That's kind of crazy. So there's two things I'd like to, I guess honestly damage is important here. Honestly, we could build him more offensively, leaving the fan on him, and see how that works. Granted, his crit chance is 20%, so it's not a very high chance to get the attack off. The other option is we could literally run all 3 of these Groo. However, I don't think having 3 Groo is going to be the answer here. So I think that's going to cause Mims to like... You know what we could do, actually? I wonder if this Groo could live through a bunch of Tixes. So you see that time our active didn't really do any damage, and neither is our counterattack. So yeah, I think attack reduction purify, I think, is what we need here. Because otherwise otherwise our counterattacks aren't going to do any damage, and we need our counterattacks to do a lot of damage here. Going with attack over HP seems a little sketchy, because the less HP we have means the less shield we have as well. Yeah, you can see how much more damage we're taking this time. It's a lot more. It's a lot more. So yeah, going with the HP enables is definitely the better option. That's the only other thing I was thinking, is running like resilience for extra healing, but like should be fine. Now we could try throwing in the other two Groo as well and see how this turns out. We could also try running this Groo in the front row to see how it turns out on top of that. This is probably a bad idea, because these other Groos are just going to explode, and they're not really going to be providing much damage for us. And I think that's just going to hurt us too much when these Groos die right here. Anything, maybe I need to change the position, but I think they pinpoint target. I don't know. I think they don't hit slot 1, right? They hit like the lowest HP target, I believe, with their basic, right? Yeah, they hit the lowest HP target. So adding them into the mix doesn't really do much. However, what if we try him in the front row? We could probably change some things up. Now, the downside of the front row is we get armor reduction instead of the attribute reductions, which might be better. Ooh, we also get petrified, and we'd have to throw in control removal. That's the downside. The front row, you can be CC'd, and you can get that armor reduction effect, which, as you guys can see, really starts melting your hero. Let's give it one more try. I know we could do the older levels with the Groo. The newest level, I'm not so sure about that. We'll give this one more try. We'll speed up the combat a little bit too and see how this goes. See, I think we would need to like super high roll, because when we don't get rid of that attack reduction effect, our counterattacks do 1 damage instead of like 400 to 500,000. Even then, this is still kind of sketchy. This doesn't feel like this is the answer, honestly. And again, the attack reduction effect. So sadly, I mean, with enough tries, it probably would work. However, that would take a lot of tries. I'm interested to see where we're at 10. Oh my goodness, we're at 10. All right, let's send the Groo Army in and see what they can do in 11. We got even another Groo on his way. Try to keep some Heart Watchers alive in the back row, maybe. I feel like the round limit's gonna happen before anything else. Like, I think that's like the biggest issue. Thankfully, we put the big hitter in the first slot. A lot of these enemies do hit slot 1, which does mean more damage. Maybe we can keep, nope, the Heart Watchers go down almost immediately. They get 1 round of basics off to put a couple marks out, but that's all. And then now we're just stuck with a bunch of Groos doing Groo stuff, which isn't even that good. Sadly. Back in the day, he was a tanky hero, though, like way back in the 10-star meta. He was a tank. It was surprising. It does look like we're going to be able to make some progress here, though. Is if we can kill the boss, I guess we should say. Because the boss is healthy. Granted, we do have counterattacks, which is nice. There we go. Come on, work the damage out. Man, I kind of wish we had the Phoenix for something like this, so we have ramping damage. Oh, man. 2 of the Groos might actually die. I think we might fall short on damage. Actually, that's kind of huge, those shields from Nemean. Counterattacks right here. Might get the kill. Close. All right, we got the kill. We got the seal in 11, which is great. Good lord. Even the first, like the front row fan one, didn't even do a ton of damage. Let's just see how far this is going to take. I'm not going to watch all these battles because they could take a while here. I don't think we're getting much further, though, because I think round limit is going to become an issue. And as you guys can see, it looks like Sealand 11 with all 3 of them is the peak of this account. So it's something interesting. Some people love playing their way and having fun. I'd love to know where in Aspen Dungeon we are too, because that's probably not very far. I think there's achievements in here for Aspen Dungeon, right? Oh wow, so he's got through. No, yeah, you're right, they're level 345, so they've managed to get to death 100. I wonder if they did that with the Groo or previously before they converted to a Groo account, because if I cheat and look to see what have we built up, we've built the Holmes Young above 10. Actually, that's it. Maybe the Holmes Young did it, maybe the Groos did it, I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. A little stupid shenanigans for you guys to start your Monday morning on your weekday. I'll see you guys next time.